So now let's go over some examples of what happens when we have two variables or three. So in those cases, let's say we have a function with two inputs and one output called g, and we have another function f that takes one input and produces two outputs. In that situation, we can take the output of our function f and we can feed it as an input to the function of g. And when we apply the chain rule to g composed with f, we can expand out what the derivative matrix looks like on each side, and we get this formula that dg dt, the rate of change of output with respect to input, is equal to the rate of change of g with respect to x times the rate of change of x with respect to time. One of them is a partial derivative and the other was just an ordinary one. And similarly, the rate of change of g with respect to y times the rate of change of y with respect to time. So this is the formula that we saw when we were talking about cookies in the previous lecture. The only thing we have to be careful about is that this formula has to be evaluated at the proper point. So we have to evaluate dx dt at the point t, and we have to evaluate these partial derivatives of g at the point x of t, y of t. So where we evaluate is important, but it's the same kind of rule as we have for the ordinary chain rule. We evaluate the outside function at the result of the inside function, and then we evaluate the inside function wherever it belongs. And the same kind of formula is true if we have three variables in the middle. If we have three variables in the middle, so we have one function that takes three inputs and one function that produces three outputs, and we feed the second one into the first, then the chain rule for g composed with f tells us that the rate of change is equal to the result we get by adding up all of these individual contributions, del g del t times dx dt, and so on and so on. So some people like this notation a little bit better than the matrix notation. They find it a little bit easier to remember, but either of these will give you the same kind of formal properties. So it's whatever is more convenient for you in some cases.